Okay,
I hope you're ready for the
is
worst stream you've ever witnessed.
I am. I just heard the
I'll
click,
figure this
the
out
click of
better
fate. All
later.
right, I'm
But
gonna reload.
I'm just gonna
See
read the
what's
Bible for
happening.
an hour until 10 o'clock, and we're gonna see how this goes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, everybody. If
So
it
it
sucks,
said I don't see anything on my.
I'm
Are
clicking go
you?
live. Welcome to King Chipson. Does it actually not show anything?
No, it shows nothing. Hold on. I'll screen share with you.
Wait, is it actually showing? It's cringe.
Yeah, see that? It says 9 p.m. It's not doing anything. I need this. I need this stream in my life.
If I have to tank my video settings into the ground, then that's just what's gonna have to be done.
Okay. I'm taking the image off my story.
Yeah. Yeah, you can feel free to do that right now.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna post it back out.
If we can get this running. Okay, so it does say there's an encoding overload, and it does claim it's not getting enough video. Yo, we had two viewers at one point.
I think one of them was me and one of them was you.
That's fair. Okay. Wait, okay, so we're still streaming technically.
Oh, we are.
Which means that everything we do and or say, could you hear any of the audio?
No, look, it's just. Can you still see my screen? Yeah,
No.
you can. It's look in the Discord. Look in Discord. Open your Discord tab. That's what I see.
Oh, that doesn't load fast enough, especially if I'm doing this during. Okay, we're gonna lower that to 200. Software is fine. Auto bitrate. We're gonna load. Okay, we're gonna put everything at the lowest settings possible.
Be streaming from an Atari.
Yeah. Okay. So, hopefully that'll make it better. We're looking for that not terrible stream health. Okay, so it recommends that we use okay, so the bitrate was apparently 0, and it wants us to use 128 gigabytes per second.
So do that. Did you just say gigabytes?
Kilobytes, whatever. 128. Okay. Settings. I might have to stop the stream entirely. I know I'm gonna get. Wait, no. Put that down.
What?
Sorry, it says you mentioned me in a story.
What? What?
Okay, good. That's gone. I just got the notification.
Wait, what did you do?
I just got the notification that you mentioned me in a story, and I thought that you might have.
No. I took it down like a minute ago.
Okay, so it said it recommended. Okay, so it wants me to use 1,000, but that's not the King Chipson way, right?
What's the King Chipson way? 500?
128. Okay. The auto bitrate, I'm fine with that being 64.
Do you mind if I call you Jonas, or do I have to call you King Chipson?
I was actually planning on making a joke about that. I mean, we're currently live, but if I do get this working, we're just gonna pretend like none of this ever happened.
What can I call you?
No, you're banned. If you call me Jonas
Seriously.
for 1 second, yeah, you can. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, okay.
Streaming.
Oh my god.
Okay. The video resolution isn't optimal.
Let's see.
Gonna hit this good old live button. It says encoding overload. I dropped down to 5 frames per second. Okay, is it?
Alright, hold on. Be quiet first. All right, so here's. I can hear us, but I can't see us. I just see a black screen right now.
Yeah, I do too, which is odd. Let me try it. Or, I think I know why. Did anything change?
I would love to do. I would love to do a podcast in all on.
Yeah. That's okay. Let me try opening my stream. Okay. I see it. I see the black
Do you see
screen.
this screen?
I see the black screen
Yeah.
that you speak of. Oh, it's changing.
Oh,
You
I
seeing
see.
this?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, I'm about to change it to reading the Bible.
Oh my god. Oh. Are
Are
you
we
gonna
streaming?
restart?
We streaming. Okay. Yeah. First, I'm gonna post this on my Instagram and send
Yeah,
it to
yeah.
everyone.
Me too.
Yeah. Tag me.
But mention me though, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Anybody? Hello, everybody. Welcome to King Chipson's live stream.
Hold on,
Yeah.
Jonas. What you got to do?
We need
It's
to
YouTube
let it simmer. Yeah.
streaming etiquette 101. You have to open with "Are we live?" So Jonas, are we live?
I think we're live.
I think we're live. Okay. Heck yeah. So to
No one-
all
no
of
one's-
Jonas's
no one-
viewers.
No one's here yet, by the way, so we can wait.
Yeah, okay, hold on. Let me post this to my story.
Yo, I actually haven't talked to a noodle all day.
Oh, really?
I shouldn't say that on live stream, but like barely.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's a weird personal thing to say.
Well, that's why I went with noodle. Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah,
send
well,
that.
that's still a bit weird to anyone who knows what we're talking about,
Yeah,
which I don't think is.
Yeah, sending that to Kareem, sending that to Berchada, sending that to Laura, I guess, sending that to Caitlin.
No, do it in your story.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sending it to every one of them individually too to make sure they see it. Sending it to Kamari and not sending it to my mother. Sending it to her first. Okay.
All right, it's uploading. Okay, so do we have any? Oh, there are 3 people. That's one more than 2, which is
Wait,
us.
Are you looking at?
So,
Are you looking at the chat?
The one King Chipson viewer. Hello there. I am Connor, and I am Jonas's writer. I come up with all the ideas for his videos. I basically own his channel.
That's right. He actually bought stock, and I'm actually 30%. 30% of my soul is owned by Connor here.
Yeah, Jonas is basically my warlock, except he doesn't get spells.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm the Caliban to his Prospero, as it were.
Yeah, you're not Ariel, because Ariel's actually cool.
Anyway,
Yeah.
would you care to explain why we're here today streaming?
Okay, so today is a historic day. Today is the day that Moses parted the Red Sea, is Passover, and it is also the 2020th anniversary of the Last Supper. So 2,000 years ago, tomorrow morning, Jesus will go and be killed. So to celebrate this momentous occasion, we're gonna read the Holy Bible live, both of us for the first time.
Yeah, because I've never read the Bible, and I've heard from a couple people at this weird building, kind of culty, but they called it a church.
I don't know, man.
They said this book was pretty good, so
I think you go to like a church if you want to get molested or something, but I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, we got the Doe Rames version of the Bible because it was the first one that came up when I searched Biblepedia. And okay, so it's translated from Latin, and it was compared with other editions in, I quote, diverse languages.
Sorry, I did not hear what you just said. My dog was scratching on the thing. Okay, I just want to point out that this one person is probably a random stranger, considering both our stories just went up. So on the off chance that the person who's watching is Miss Saeed, Please stop emailing me. I'm sorry I didn't do the last assignment. Please stop emailing me. Okay. But on the much likelier chance that this is not Miss Said, I'm sorry, random stranger. Okay, so should we get started?
Yeah, it's probably Mason. We should get started with reading the Holy
Oh,
Bible.
there's 4 people watching now. Oh, now it's 3.
Okay, if anyone posts anything in the chat, like if you have any questions about life or the universe, I'll have Connor read them to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just gonna go through this. So the stream's lagging behind what I'm actually saying a little bit, Connor, so you might be a bit behind. But
Yeah. Okay.
okay, so just scrolling through this, we're gonna read the entirety of the Old Testament.
Or at least as far as we can get in an hour, because we're lazy.
Then the entirety of the New Testament. Oh, you know this is gonna be a series. And you know,
Okay.
after about approximately 1,600 pages, we'll be done with the. Oh my God, 1,600 pages is accurate. We'll be done with the Bible. Okay, so this is a lot of blank pages. Okay, part 1.
The Book of Genesis.
Old
Oh wow, the
Testament.
Book of Sonic.
Bro, that's my favorite video game. And looking at the Old Testament.
Oh,
just
they
like,
left.
Bro, it's just us now.
Yeah, but we're gonna go anyways. The show must go on, even though it literally.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Is okay. Let me know if just anything happens at all.
Okay. The Old Testament.
Yo.
Ooh, we got a like. Was that you? That was you, wasn't it?
I think Kamari's gonna join in a second though.
Oh.
So I think we've let this go on long enough. I think it's time that we commence the reading,
So
right?
we should start with the Super Nintendo killer, Genesis.
Okay. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. He forgot about the moon. The earth was void and empty, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved over the waters. And God said, "Be light made." I feel like that's different.
And light was made.
And light was made, yeah.
Laura 10 Gritty says, "What? Hi, Laura. We're celebrating Passover by reading the Bible." Oh, it's Kamari! Hey!
Yo, what's good, Paul?
Oh my god, this is so awesome. Don't be disrespectful. Honestly, we really trust me.
Yeah.
We're just reading. We're literally just reading it. Okay. How do you want to do this? Do you want me to Do you want to read like half a page and then I'll read half a page?
Okay. Yeah. Oh, let me finish. Yeah. You start at 12. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. And he called the light day, and the darkness night, and there was evening and morning one day. And God said, "Let there be a firmament made amidst the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters."
I think that's actually I'm actually going to take this somewhat seriously because I think that's probably the continents dividing the waters, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think yeah.
Oh, Laura asks, what is Passover? Passover is the Jewish holiday that
where they each pass a
basically what happened was
Animal Crossing to each other.
No. So what happened was there was a lot of Jewish population being persecuted in Egypt, and Pharaoh, the leader, basically had a bunch of plagues sent on him after Moses threatened him, and so Moses and all of the Jews left and were pursued by the Egyptian army, and Moses parted the Red Seas to cross the Red Sea into Saudi Arabia and escaped. And this is what Jesus was celebrating in his Last Supper 2,020 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, and if anyone knows anyone that would appreciate us reading the Bible, make sure to pass this video over to them.
Don't. All right. Where were you?
That's my last Passover pun. I'm sorry.
Okay. Don't pass over this. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and morning were the second day. God also said, "Let the waters that are under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so done. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. And he said, "Let the earth bring forth green herb, and such as may seeds, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after its kind, which may have seed in itself upon the earth." And it was so done.
Okay, you might need to zoom in a bit. And the earth brought forth the green. I can't actually see, your stream resolution is so. Can you zoom in?
I'm doing that. I can read the whole thing and we can just comment on it. Is that better?
Oh, is that the real Mukael? Oh my god! The real moves in. Okay, can you, or at least, can you share with me this document? I feel like we probably should have been doing this before.
Oh, yeah, if you look at it, I'm going to take away your 1999 Toyota Corolla. There you go.
Okay.
So anyway,
okay,
while we're in this intermission, while Connor gets this part of the Bible,
we've read half a page.
It's just a reminder that you can ask any questions to the stream, and I will do my best to answer them. I'm looking at the chat right now. That's the entire stream right now.
Yep. We're literally just reading the Bible. Okay, so
Yeah.
We're on 12.
We're on 12.
And the earth brought forth the green herb, and such as yieldeth seed according to its kind, and the tree that beareth fruit, having seed each one according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. And God said, "Let there be light made in the firmament of heaven, to divide the day and the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days and years, to shine in the firmament of heaven, and give light upon the earth." And it was so done. And God made two great lights, a greater light to rule the day, and a lesser night to rule the night, and the stars. And he set them in the firmament of heaven to shine upon earth, and to rule the day and night, and to divide the light and darkness. God saw it was good. And in the evening and morning were the fourth day. And God also said, "Let the waters bring forth the creeping creature having life, and the fowl that may fly over the earth under the firmament of heaven." And God created God created the great whales, that every living and moving creature with the waters brought forth. I don't know if that's intentional, but waters has two A's in it on the 21st paragraph.
I think they didn't translate from Latin that well.
Yeah, it was a typo along the way. And every winged fowl according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. So wait, when they're talking about the whales, because I used to go to Bible school, are they talking about because the Christian theory for how the continents came together was something like there's essentially the continents were on the backs of turtles and they went together. So is that a reference to that? I don't know.
I don't know. I think whales and turtles are slightly different.
Okay, Laura says...
Oh, yeah, you can go for it.
Can you read the B-movie script? Well, I have to ask which has more cultural implications Day of Passover. Because 2001, 2,000 years ago and one day, Jesus would go to die. And I feel like reading the B-movie script wouldn't be the best way to ring that in.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, if this becomes my most popular video ever, no, if this gets a decent amount of views and I feel like it, I might read the B-movie script. Note that I've never watched the B-movie though, so it would actually be new to me.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna continue because I want to.
You want to continue?
This is paragraph 22.
Okay.
And he blessed them, saying, "Increase and multiply, and fill the waters of the sea, and let the birds be multiplied upon the earth." And the evening and morning were the fifth day. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature in its kind, cattle, creeping things, and beasts of the earth, according to their kinds." And it was so done. And God made the beasts of the earth according to their kinds, and cattle, and everything that creepeth on the earth. Wait, what? Hold on, do you see this? On paragraph 24 and 25, it's just a past tense of 24. What does that mean? Am I reading too much into this?
I think.
Oh, okay. So 24 is God saying like I'm going to do this, and then
okay,
25
and
is
that's God making the thing.
yeah,
Okay, that makes a
okay.
lot of sense.
Yeah. Chapter 20 or not paragraph 26. And
Sorry,
he said,
real quick, I want to
"Let
get to
us
the
make
chat.
oh,
Kamari says, no, it's literal whales. Sorry, I should say your actual username. Thank you, MK101 Gamer. Um,
oh, thank you."
and then Laura,
The
and then
bees
Laura,
died. The
thank you
bees
for
died
this
for
insight.
humans.
I'm going to now whenever we get to Jesus dying, I will replace it with the bees if I remember.
I don't think we get to Jesus until a little bit later, but I don't know.
What do you mean? Jesus comes right after the Sega Genesis.
His name was Sonic, and he was blue, fast. And he died. He died on the 3D, but he came back 3 days later in the form of Mania. Anyways, anyways, okay, what was that? 27.
26, I
What?
think. Did you already talk about
Okay.
making man?
Yes.
Okay,
And he
cool.
said, "Let us make man to our image and like. Let him have dominion over the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the air, and the beasts and the whole earth, every creeping creature that moveth upon the earth." 27. And God created man to his own image. To the image God he created him. Male and female he created him.
Okay, wait.
And God blessed them. What?
So if God created man to his own image, but he made males and females, does that mean that God has both?
Advent 7 says this is awful. I agree. Anyways, so yes, okay, so actually, so the thing is I actually have heard discussion over this passage because the male and female part obviously comes under some scrutiny nowadays. The discussion of what it means to have gender and stuff keeps going on.
Right.
So interestingly enough, I don't think I have anything to add to the conversation because I'm not very educated.
That's why we're reading
But
it, yeah.
I just wanted to, I just wanted to point it out. See, because if you'll understand, I am going to try to sound a lot more smart than I am in this stream. So yeah,
Advent 7 says 2 genders question mark, and I think that's I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about because he said, "And God created him male."
Yeah.
Okay, 28. And God blessed them, saying, "Increase and multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and rule over the fishes of the sea, and the fowls of the air, and all living creatures that move upon the earth." And God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed upon the earth, and all trees that have in themselves seed of their own kind, to be your meat. And to all beasts of the earth, and to every fowl of the air." That was 2 letters away from something worse.
To be your
and
meat.
To all the beasts to beat you. And to all the beasts of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to all that move upon the earth, and wherein there is life, that they may have to feed upon. And it was so done. And God saw all the things he had made, and they were very good. And the evening and morning were the 6th day. Real quick.
See,
he said, what?
If we're gonna try to justify this in the real world, maybe the concept of a day wasn't really invented yet back in, negative whatever. So maybe God did create it on the 6th day, but maybe a day to God is more like tens of thousands of years, Also,
I'm not here for Jesus. I'm here to hear Connor and Jonas. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you.
Yeah. King Jason was made for one reason, for me to mess around, and I think we're succeeding in that.
I mean, I make all of your videos, so yeah. Anyways, Bill Bryson talked about that, where he talked about in his book, A History of Almost Everything, which is actually a fantastic book, and I recommend everyone read it. He said that there is an interpretation of the Bible, where he said that no one who studies the Bible at a higher level literally interprets the creating of the universe in 7 days. He said it was like a placeholder for something that was larger, and we don't know how long the author of the Bible. I don't know who wrote the first part of it, but I know it was written. Wrote it through people, but we don't know exactly how long it was supposed to be. We don't know if it was literal eons or just millions of years, or maybe it was literally 7 days. But that's the popular interpretation. So I just wanted to point that out, as you said.
I would just like to say goodbye, MK101 Gamer. We appreciated you coming.
I wasn't actually gonna. I wasn't actually making fun of it. I'm actually.
Yeah.
I'm actually in.
But yeah.
No,
I'm interested in this too, right? Because I'm interested in the lore. But yeah. If you want to leave, that's completely fine.
No, yeah.
Um, yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna read some of these other chat stuff. Anyway, we are making it to chapter 2. 25 minutes in, we've made it. Okay, I will start us off. So the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the furniture of them. And on the 7th day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the 7th day from all his work which he had done. And he blessed the 7th day, and sanctified it, because in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. These are the generations of the heaven and the earth, when they were created in the day that the Lord God made the heaven and the earth. And every plant of the field before it sprung up in the earth, and every herb of the ground before it grew, for the Lord God had not rained upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the earth. See, this is the problem, since we don't have an agrarian society yet.
Wait, yet?
Yet.
No,
yeah.
fam, this was... Oh, wait, hold on, never mind, sorry.
Yeah, no. Didn't you know God invented agrarian societies on the 7th day? But that makes sense if you're measuring
what part
things.
Are you in?
I'm on 5 or 6 now.
Okay, and every plant of the field before it sprung up in the earth, and every herb of the ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then God
because
says, and
this
there was not a man to till the earth. Yeah, because this was like, okay.
See, because I'm actually curious, like, when historically was the Bible written? Like, because I know Jesus happened in Rome.
Okay, let's look that up. When was
you guys are like the Bob Ross of Audible.
I can appreciate being called.
No. Oh man, our viewers.
Okay.
Can you call humans happy little trees? Okay. We're doing that.
Yeah.
But...
So the Old Testament is the original Hebrew Bible, which is what we're reading currently. Written at times between around 1200 and 165 BC. Okay, so that gives us some way. So God spoke through a man, and again, we're doing the presumption that this is true, right? So God spoke through a man between 1200 and 165 BC. So if we're going by God's time of theoretical days, then that's probably only like a minute or two for him.
Oh, that's actually an interesting.
Yeah, right. Okay. Where was I? Okay. But a spring rose out of the earth, watering all the surface of the earth. And the Lord God formed man of the slime of the earth, and breathed into his face the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And the Lord God had planted a paradise of pleasure from the beginning, wherein he placed a man whom he had formed.
Oh, this is okay. I think.
Yeah. I think we're getting to some good stuff now. And
Garden of Eden. What paragraph are you on again?
9. And the Lord God brought forth of the ground all manner of trees, fair to behold, and pleasant to eat of, the tree of life also in the midst of paradise, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of the place of pleasure to water paradise, which from thence is divided into 4 heads. The name of the one is Phizon, that is it which compasseth all the land of Hevelath, where gold groweth. And the gold of that land is very good. There is found, that's a typo, I'm going to go Bellium, and the onyx stone. I'm going to close out this chapter if that's all right.
Okay.
And the name, yeah, sorry. And the name of the second river is Gihon, the same is it that compasseth all the land of Ethiopia. And the name of the third river is
Wait,
Tigris. What's up?
Wait, hold on. These are actual.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So are the rivers passages in the Bible? Okay, that's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, I
Ethiopia is
think,
actual North Africa, and
yeah.
Tigris is in Mesopotamia. Is Tigris in Mesopotamia or Egypt?
Yeah, that's the Tigris and the Euphrates make up Mesopotamia. Because
Okay,
it's
all
like
right.
there's two rivers that are next to each other, right? And that makes the whole Fertile Crescent and whatnot.
Mhm.
Um, the same passeth along by the Assyrians, and the fourth river is Euphrates. We talk in that Euphrates River.
Oh God,
And,
stop.
and the Lord God took. Ooh, sorry. I thought he might have actually told us where the theoretical Garden of Eden was. Nope. And the Lord God took man, and put him into the paradise of pleasure, to dress it, and to keep it. And he commanded him, saying, Of every tree of paradise thou shalt eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat. Okay.
Shut
The
death.
knowledge
Okay,
of good
so
of evil. That's very interesting, actually. For in
the
what?
tree. Okay, so it's not the tree of knowledge. So obviously, I think we Adam and Eve, right? And Adam's gonna pluck his rib, and Eve is going to sprout from that rib, and then she's gonna eat the apple.
I was
So,
actually not aware of that.
so the
I'm
tree
very
is.
unexperienced in all this Bible stuff. But sorry, go
Oh
on.
yeah, you didn't grow up evangelical. Um, so
No, that only happened like a month or two ago.
really,
Oh,
never. I'm
also,
not. I'm not. We're not gonna talk about
also,
that.
just quick
Anyways,
shout out to any Evangelion fans. If you think that Asuka is
oh my
better than
God,
Rey, I will come to your house. Take the
I
spear of
said
long,
even.
take the spear of Longinus, and just put it right through your eye, like it went through Asuka's eye. Okay,
I
sorry, go
said.
on.
I said evangelical, not Evangelion. You buffoon.
Well, that's the
Um,
derivative of the word.
I know, but oh my God.
Anyway, you were saying?
Sorry. Um, of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So it's not knowledge. It's like good and evil. So I'm just thinking parallels to Pandora. Are you familiar with the story of Pandora?
I am familiar with Pandora, yes.
Yes. Oh, hold on. One second. I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, looks like we are just in a King Chips and chat right now. Um, so let me tell you a little story, right? Um, what should I talk about? Okay, so watching JoJo, right? Um, so JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is my favorite anime, right? And see, here's the thing: it talks a lot, especially in part six, about obtaining heaven. And I'm all like, well, what's the big deal about this heaven place, right? Like, I don't know what heaven's described like, so I'm actually very interested in reading this and see like how heaven's described, if at all. Because like, if heaven is described in an interesting way, I think that would be very fascinating. Okay, looks like our co-host Grethy will be out for a bit. Um, that's not what I want. That's looking like some Diablo stuff right there. I'm gonna continue reading the Bible. If anyone has any questions, hit me up in the live chat. I'm always looking. Okay. Xavier Campbell says that Asuka is better than Rey by far. Okay. See, if we're gonna talk about that for a bit, you say Asuka has an actual personality. Uh, one for one. I just finished watching Evangelion 2.22, and you might not have seen it, but it makes Rey like best girl. And for you saying Rey is just a hollow shell, that's not true. Otherwise, she wouldn't smile. And also, the whole point is that she's like a soul split between, like, put into multiple people. So, like, yeah. So, also, Rey is the only character that actually ended up doing something positive, like, in the entire story at the end. Like, of all the characters, she's the one that grew the most. She also suffered the most because of it, but, like, yeah, she has the most growth overall. Anyway, sorry to go on that Evangelion tangent. Now back to your regularly scheduled Bible reading. Unless you have any questions or just things you want me to do, because I'm always down to do some silly stuff.
I just got back to seeing Xavier Campbell typing Asian better than Ray by far. Oscar.
Also, he's not even typing the name correct. It's Asuka. So while you were gone, I was basically talking about why Ray is better.
Standard Bible stuff.
Yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, welcome Xavier. We're just doing a really terrible literary analysis of the Bible. Okay. Anyway, so we're getting into Garden of Eden territory and the origin of man. Okay. So what I was saying was, I think it's interesting that it's not the tree of knowledge; it's the knowledge of good and evil. So if we're saying eating is sort of the allegory for becoming aware of, I guess, or having knowledge of. So if you eat an apple from the tree of, I don't know. If you eat an apple from the tree of writing, you would gain knowledge of writing, So, do you know how this story goes?
Okay. So I might sound really silly right now, but there's Adam and Eve, right? However they got there. And basically there's a snake. It's a pretty gnarly snake. It's it's after it invented the idea of the House of Slytherin, it told Eve, "Yo, eat that fruit." And then Eve ate that fruit. And then that was either the first sin or all of the sin. One of those two.
I think that was the first sin, and then that's why sin is. So anyways, because someone has knowledge of sin let's see. Because someone has knowledge of sin, there's sin in the world, which is kind of a bold claim. Not saying it's wrong, but anyways, sorry. Where were you?
Do you want me to keep reading?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if we ever going on these long tangents, I'm gonna have an alien Google search loaded up just so I can just browse some images for the. That will be in the background. Okay. We're taking it from 18. And the Lord God said, "It is not good for man to be alone. Let us make him a help like unto himself." And the Lord God, having formed out of the ground all the beasts of the earth and all the fowls of the air, brought them to Adam to see what he... Oh, sorry, I just associate that with Evangelion so much. Brought them to Adam to see what he would call them. For whatsoever Adam called any living creature, the same in it is its name. Wow, that's interesting. But Adam called all the beasts by their names, and all the fowls of the air, and all the cattle of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helper like himself. Then the Lord God cast a deep sleep upon Adam. Fast asleep, he took one of his ribs and filled up flesh for it. And then the Lord God built the rib which he took from Adam into a woman, and brought her to Adam. And Adam said, "This now is bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she is taken out of man. Wherefore a man shall leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they shall be two in one flesh. And they were both naked, to wit, Adam and his wife, and were not ashamed."
Okay.
So that's very, very interesting.
Lot to get from that. What does it mean? Oh, I know exactly what it means. What I was going to ask, what does it mean they came from the same body? And
yeah, so they're still derivative of each other, but
yeah, and that's the thing. That's the allegory for marriage. In traditional religious societies, they believe the uniting of a soul and stuff like that.
Yeah, kind of like. I'm sorry, I just got myself on a mech anime thing. Darling in the Franxx. Kind of like that. Kind of like the metaphor with Franxx, where they're two people that make one whole mecha.
Yeah,
I know that's kind
surprisingly. Yeah, Darling in the Franxx is coming up on a discussion of the old Bible itself.
Yeah, Yeah, well, I mean, there are parallels, you know, like Evangelion is derivative of the Bible, and Darling in the Franxx is derivative of Evangelion. So in a way, it
Well,
makes sense.
Evangelion has like a lot of like religious imagery, like, the fact that angels are coming back to
Yeah, I mean, again,
angels are coming back.
you haven't finished the series, so you don't quite have all
Yeah.
the lore. But yeah,
Well, but think about it. Like, okay, imagine. I just from all I can gather, a lot of bad crap has happened to the world, right?
right?
That's as much as I can gather, and this might be like a judgment day. Do you know what day is?
Yeah, I've never like seen it, but I know what you're talking about in general.
Yeah, so it might be like an allegory, the second coming, where it's just
Yeah,
like all the sinners go to hell and like the rest. No, sorry, all the sinners are left on the hollow shell of the earth, not go to hell. Um, I don't know. I think that's Judgment Day. I'm not super.
yeah.
Anyways, I'm probably extremely wrong. Chapter 3.
Oh,
Should I do that one?
do you know what just happened?
What?
We just went back down to 2 views.
It's just
It's just us, but you know,
okay.
we don't do this for the fame or the acclaim. We do it because one
Nah,
day
we
people
do
will
it for the Bible.
recognize our Bible work. Yeah. Um.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scholars thousands of years from now will look back on us and say, those guys had it figured out more than like the literal billions of people who tried before us.
Yeah. But
So, anyways,
yeah. So the video has buffering spurts, but in general, it's actually keeping up quite well.
yeah,
Okay. Do you wanna start us off with chapter 3?
yeah, I could take chapter 3. Yeah, it's kind of having a buffering fit right now. Anyways, oh, we got a third viewer. Hello, random stranger.
Just real
Shall
quick.
I go?
Oh,
What?
we real quick update to the new person. We've been reading the Bible for quite a bit. We've made
For
it to
40
chapter
minutes?
3. Yeah, we've only made it to chapter 3. That's like 5 pages maybe. We've been having discussion about it. If you're in the chat, you feel free to ask any question or say anything, and we'll be sure to read it and comment on it because there aren't too many of you. And yeah, also feel free
We
to
went
share it
from
with anyone because we are
they
thirsty for
left.
views.
They left Jonas. There were 4 people,
Now
and
it's
then they
two
left.
again.
There were 4 people, then there was 3, and then it was 2 again.
All right.
Okay, so this is fun. I'm still gonna continue to read
Yeah.
chapter 3.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Okay. Um. Now the serpent was more subtle than any of the beasts of the earth, which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, "Why hath God commanded that, and that you should not eat from every tree of paradise?" And the woman answered him, saying, "Of the fruit of the trees that are in paradise we do eat, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of paradise God hath commanded us that we should not eat, and we should not touch it, lest perhaps we die." Real quick, so these 3 paragraphs are actually incredibly important, if I may. So without sounding like a huge pretentious d-bag, I wanted to, in a bit of my studies, I found a lot of artwork is born from the societal expectation, and you have to think about when this was 2 years ago, and Rome during this time had been going fits and bits of, like, just think about Julius 200. He was like this
You're
incredibly
cutting out
powerful.
a bit. I'm not sure, but yeah, keep going.
Sorry. So think like 200 years before Julius, charismatic and popular, and he just got stabbed to death. And so Rome was going a lot of change of rulers, whether it was forceful. So to someone who didn't keep up to the politics, which is citizen, there's going to change from no. So the historical motif of keep loyalty to power because it's for your own good is kind of like a reoccurring thing. See it here, where the ultimate thing is Eve is portrayed as good in that she was like before the snake corrupted her, which the snake can be seen as like anarchy or anyone that tries to corrupt society. Where Eve is like, no, I listen to the master. I don't take from the tree because he told me not to. And then she's painted as I don't want to say victim, but like the bad person, I guess, not listening to God and taking from the tree. And so I just thought it was kind of interesting that this would happen in this time, because it's kind of a thing that they wanted to instill in people, that you should listen to the voice of power in your life, and that just came from the Bible. So yeah, that was a thing.
Yeah. All right. That is really interesting, actually. Yeah. The one thing I find interesting is that the serpent is kind of introduced out of nowhere. And
Yeah.
like when you think serpent, what do you think of?
I mean, I was thinking a literal snake because okay, so like it talks like how they're from the earth, and it said the beast of the earth. So I'm thinking a literal snake, but I could be wrong. Maybe.
Yeah. So here's the thing. When I think snake, I think of that, like, there's this one game on the Nintendo eShop that's like about being a 3D snake in a 3D space.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like
Snake Pass.
Yeah,
right?
Snake Pass. So I think of the snake from Snake Pass, which is a bit cartoony. Yeah, but that's what I mainly think about when I go to this. Yo, okay. We're actually popping right now. Real quick subscriber update. I'm at 39 subscribers. And if you
Did you just gain a new subscriber?
I've gained 2 since the stream started. It's already successful.
Seriously, that's pretty cool.
And my competitor, Mason Butt 23, only has 43 subscribers. So, if you're watching and you aren't subscribed, I'm only 4 subscribers away from catching up to my main competitor, and I would greatly appreciate it if you subscribe to me. Or if you're not sure, feel free to watch some of my other older videos. I highly recommend Megumin Thick Moments number 2.
Oh my god.
Gyro gives Johnny CBT. Rui is best girl, and Avatar: The Last Ethnicity. I think those are some of my best videos. Yeah. Anyway, can you keep us going, Connor?
Okay, cool. So we were on chapter 3, and the snake Eve and convinced her to take from the tree. Okay, so 4. And the serpent said to the woman, No, you shall not die for the death. For God doth know that in what day soever you shall eat thereof, your eyes shall be opened, and you shall be as God, knowing good and evil. And the woman saw that the tree was good to eat, and fair to the eyes, and delightful to behold. She took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave to her husband, who did eat. Okay, so quick thing. It's implying that if you know of good and evil gods. Oh man, I am getting a huge wave. Okay, so let's think about this. So the snake is obviously the antagonist. Snakes have always been, like if someone calls you a snake, it's not a compliment.
Yeah.
So the snake is the antagonist, and it's trying to convince people that if you know of good and evil, you will be a god. Whereas obviously the moral is that you should listen, and knowing of good and evil is not your place. So it's like kind of like authoritarian versus libertarian. It's like it's basically saying that it is not your place to know good and evil. That is God's purpose. That is our
I feel
leaders.
I feel like if the Bible was made today, that wouldn't be a story in it, right?
Yeah,
I feel like the idea of you shouldn't have knowledge isn't something that media really supports. Because
people are too powerful now,
yeah. Well, especially like knowledge of good and evil, just in general, right? Like that's not a thing you see today. But like,
I feel like if this was created in 2020, it would probably be because like, okay, we are controlled by information. There's so much due to the internet. So like, the thing would probably be like, be careful. Choose only the information that God gives you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, we are controlled by the assumptions put onto us by the information that we happen to see. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, it's all this. The Bible's getting pretty interesting. It's heating up right now.
I'm actually, you know what? I'm not even lying. I'm genuinely interested in what's gonna happen.
Hey, you down to go to like 10:30?
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, so number 7, chapter 7. And the eyes of them both were open, and when they perceived themselves to be naked, they sewed together fig leaves and made themselves aprons. And when they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in paradise at the afternoon air, Adam and his wife hid themselves from the face of the Lord God amidst the trees of paradise. And the Lord God called Adam and said to him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in paradise, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said to him, Who hath told thee that thou wast naked, but that thou hast eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee, thou shouldst not eat. Okay, so a weird thing. Are they implying that clothes themselves are sin?
I wouldn't say that necessarily. I
Or
think that the
maybe
idea of
they're saying
clothes comes with the idea. Actually, that does come with knowledge of good and evil. I guess that is implied.
well, okay, so we'll see, like, okay. So maybe it's that the clothes themselves are not sin, but product of hiding from sin being sex, because, you do the nasty when you're naked.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, I was on paragraph 11. Anyways.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, and so now they're hiding from, that's bad.
Yeah, page 12.
And Adam said, The woman whom thou gavest me to be my companion gave me of the tree, and I. And the Lord said to the woman, Why hast thou done this? And she answered, The serpent deceived me, and I did eat. And the Lord God said to the serpent, Because thou hast done this thing, thou art among all cattle and beasts of the earth. Upon thy breast shalt thou go, and earth shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. I will put amenities between thee and thy seed and her seed. She shall curse. Is that an actual word? Is that Old English?
Wait.
Whatever.
She shall curse. Oh, wow. I think that's curse, but just misspelled.
Maybe. Curse thy head. Thou shalt lie here. To the woman also he said, I will multiply thy sorrows and thy conceptions. In sorrow shalt thou bring forth children, and thou shalt be under thy husband's power, and he shall have dominion. Okay, so I guess this is where we come into like traditional family values.
I would just like to say that this means that the concept of birth is a punishment of God.
Which, I mean, let's be real. I feel like birth to some people is a punishment, considering how painful it is. Apparently,
that's fair.
Um,
He's like Eve, woman.
uh,
Since you were the person that caused this, you get birth. Adam, I know you did the same thing too, but she told you to do it, so you get kidney stones.
I feel like I can actually talk about this now. So I went to a wedding in Tennessee, 2019. It was like the new year. It was just a couple months ago, and I went to a redneck wedding, and obviously it's evangelical, and so they talked a lot about how basically it is the man's job to provide and the woman's job to nurture and hunter gatherer basically. So like the man is the hunter and the gatherer, and it's kind of weird to hear the origin of this because okay. So I think from their perspective, the woman gathering is a like the woman nurturing and gathering is a punishment, and the man providing is like not necessarily a thing that's like glorified, but it's better than having to bear children and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's just weird because like from my perspective, just having a soul relationship where the man provides just does childbirth sounds exhausting. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I think from the lesser of two evils is Also,
Yeah.
just wanted to say real quick before we get into it, thanks for the 2 viewers. I hope you actually enjoy my pretentious.
Yeah, if you enjoy this,
Oh my
thank
god.
you. I'm glad you're enjoying this content. I just want to say quick detour to be slightly entertaining. While you were talking about that, I was scrolling through some Evangelion images, and I found one of a picture of a character you haven't met yet, but it's from this article that says why Netflix's unqueering of Evangelion is a loss for the LGBTQ plus community.
Very relevant now. Bible.
Well, yeah, because it's like okay, so if knowledge of good and evil, right? So the concept of having children is evil, right? So if the concept of having children is evil, does that mean
Or
that
at,
being gay is being more close to God because you aren't having children?
I think what they're like saying is that bearing the both of the two of hunting and gathering of providing, you're supposed to have that other half that is not a man or like is not the same partner or the same sex as you. Obviously, that's a sentiment I don't agree with, but you know,
Yeah. Yeah. So,
okay, I was on chapter or not chapter it's
um,
17. You read
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You go.
I get on this? Okay. And
Okay.
to Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened to the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree, whereof I commanded thee, that thou shouldst not eat, cursed is the earth in thy work, with labor and toil shalt thou eat thereof all the days of life. Okay, so he created work. Thorns
Mm.
and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herbs of the earth. In return thy face shalt thou eat bread till thou return to the earth, out of which thou hast presumably taken. For dust thou art, and into dust thou shalt return. Ooh, that's a nice line.
That's like, yeah, that was a really good line.
That's like, yo, if God was like, that's like God's whole counterattack, right? He's
Yeah,
like, you're dust, okay, and you're going to
I'm
become
gonna
dust.
I'm gonna curse you to the cycle age.
Yeah, he basically the idea that I think it was in a video you sent me once about how eventually everything will stop working.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Do you
So
want to talk about?
not right now. We're kind of well, maybe in a second, but in relation that idea, I'm down to talk about.
Okay,
the idea the idea that everything's gonna eventually stop working.
entropy. Yeah.
Yeah, entropy. There
So,
we go.
the video that we are talking about is a Tom Scott video, and basically he created a simple software. Which he uh, are you just having the event? I don't care. Anyways,
The stream's
so
lagged behind. Like I'm looking at it right now,
oh,
but that's like minutes behind what we're doing right now.
okay. Anyways, so the Tom Scott video in question was like he made a simple software that just updates the video title to show. Basically, he goes on to talk about why eventually not work, and the software eventually will die and fail. And entropy is just the decay of pretty much any system that we set in place. And I guess the thing that I'm getting from this is that the entropy is a curse put upon us by God for submitting to the temptation of knowledge and to this the temptation of knowledge of good. And in Tom Scott video, he talks about how like the lifetime goal of humanity is to defeat entropy, and we may do that by going through the stars, and we kind of already have by. So maybe the day we defeat entropy is the we give the middle finger to God. Maybe.
I mean,
Are you there?
sorry, that you just kind of blew my mind a bit. I think that's exactly what it would be, right? Like this whole idea
Maybe.
is that is that, if God created entropy and he made it so that we have to work the land, right?
He cursed us with entropy, and
Yeah.
we have essentially said no to that
Well,
by
if we
creating
can.
massive amounts of farming. I
Yeah, yeah.
mean, slave culture, which
And see, and
not.
see, and see, that's when you get into, how like sometimes religious groups and technology are like opposed to it, right? Because they're like, yo, that's stuff that God's meant to do. Well, God also said, God also said we were supposed to work and have pain. So I don't agree with everything that God said, you know. Uh,
Yeah.
I hope
Okay.
that's not too. I hope that's not
Wow.
too
So,
controversial for our Bible reading, but
well, no, no, no. I mean, like, okay. So that's somewhat of a common sentiment. Like, I actually do know a lot of like unhomophobic Christians, even though that if you look pretty superficially, the Bible condemns the homosexuality. And not all the super religious people I know are like that, but like some of them just choose to disagree with that part, and it's kind of a common sentiment. So if you do agree or do disagree, I mean, it's your choice. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But like it's kind of like that with the entire Bible, where like people don't have to agree with the entirety of it. After all, there's like 8 books written by like 200 different.
yeah. Like, okay, so I'm not gonna. I'm. We're not gonna get into that. I don't want to get into very blatantly anti Bible stuff. But for any,
Oh, obviously.
yeah, yeah. So I'm not gonna do that. But uh, I just want to say this outfit of Shinji and Asuka is my favorite in the entire series. Sorry for that brief detour. Just wanna keep it spicy. I want to keep it spicy.
I'm making this too serious for.
You're making this Bible reading too serious for me. But yeah, defeating entropy. That's what it's all about. And when we do that, we will
Mhm.
defeat God. Oh, and like the idea of CRISPR, like engineering babies, that's another one of the things that some people are against. Yeah.
Yeah.
Though I think as two people that have never read the Bible before, I think we should, go a bit more before we immediately disdain it as anti-gay values.
Oh
As being
yeah,
homophobic.
obvious.
Yeah. So So yeah, just clarification. I have no idea if this book is homophobic or not. I haven't read it yet. Well, I'm currently reading it.
Yeah. So, um, and I
Okay,
don't know what I was
so
gonna say.
so I'm going to keep reading.
Okay, what
Okay.
paragraph were you on?
We started with the dust line, so 20. And Adam called the name of his wife Eve, because she was the mother of all the living. And the Lord God made for Adam and his wife garments of skins, and clothed them. Also, the fact that they have language is also interesting.
Oh yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, the concept of this whole thing is very very supernatural as of now. Uh. Yeah.
Well, I think that's the point because it's like a very weird and then
Yeah.
it
Because
was
this
like
is
like I think the thing because it's just like the perfect scenario, which I guess is kind of the.
yeah, like this is utopia plus snakes, I guess. Which is actually really interesting, right? The idea that he gave all women birth, but he's specifically talking about humans in this sense. So
Mhm.
like, were animals always just gonna have birth and whatnot, or is it like a thing that was like developed? Or
That's true.
yeah, we were like, did when he was like, did when he made Eve, like when he was cursed her with the idea that she had to give birth, um,
Mhm.
did he also was just like, nah, we'll go with all the animals ever existing too?
Yeah. Also,
Um,
real quick, I don't know why I just thought of this. When I said maybe the day that we defeat the cycles of life and death is the day that we defeat God. I'm not saying that that's a good thing. I'm just saying that that is a thing that may or may not happen. I really don't need people saying that I want to defeat God. Like, like, just let that be known.
yeah.
All right, let's
Also,
continue
let
reading.
it be known, I just think this is pretty cool. I made it to 40 subscribers.
Oh, you did. Nice job.
I know we definitely
The,
live streaming our Bible readings another time.
so the thing is, I just want to point out. obviously that means that someone who had never watched your content before watched this stream and thought that this is the kind of stuff you put out and subscribe to you, and then is gonna go watch your videos and then is gonna be thoroughly disappointed by what they find.
Right. Okay. So like I started the stream with 37 subscribers, I think. At least three new people have found me via reading the Bible.
Yeah, to those three people, sorry for what you're about to go through.
Yeah, but thank you for subscribing still. I make good videos. Earlier in the stream I mentioned some of my recommendations. I'll just go through two right now. Avatar: The Last Ethnicity and Rui's Best Girl. Those are some of my favorites.
Rui's Best Girl is actually pretty good.
Oh my god, it's my favorite edit ever. Also, my cover of the song "Fight Song." I'm rather proud of that. The music video that went into that is it's pretty well synchronized actually, and it's one of my lower viewed videos. So
whatever, Jonas, stop self promoting. Let's read the Bible.
Sorry,
I'm reading now. 22, and he said, "Behold, Adam is become as one of us, knowing good and evil. Now therefore, lest perhaps he put forth his hand, and take also the tree of life, and eat, and live forever. And the Lord God sent him out of paradise of pleasure, to till the earth from which he was taken. And he cast out Adam, and placed before him the paradise of pleasure, cherubims, I don't know, and a flaming sword, turning every way to keep the way of the tree of life." So,
okay, so
is he saying that the tree of life is like a thing that all living things have, but none can, or all living things can take part in, but none? If you have it, you have it, and because
sorry,
we've been.
Behold, Adam is one of is now take also of the tree of life. Okay, so he's now capable of taking the tree of life.
Yeah.
And then he sent him out of the paradise of pleasure, right? Which okay, so presumably this is all taking place in heaven, actually.
I don't know if it does.
Because it's like,
I don't know.
So God made man on Earth, but then presumably brought him to the paradise of pleasure. Because in 23 in 23 it says, sent him out of the paradise of pleasure to till the earth from which he was taken. So that is saying that he sent him to the earth from the paradise of pleasure.
Okay, but think about it. The tree of life is in the paradise of pleasure, right? And where do you go when you die? Heaven. So why would the tree of life be in heaven?
Oh, that's fair. So maybe there's like this. Okay, so paradise of pleasure is probably this other separate entity then.
Yeah, maybe it's like a separate realm or something.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where from life stems. It's possible.
Yeah. And then there is cherubims, who is presumably the guard now.
The guardian of the flaming tree of life. So think about it. The flaming tree of life is there, but cherubims, I honestly have no idea what to imagine here. Maybe humanoid. I'm just gonna imagine a humanoid. So this armored figure with a flaming sword is going to be like, okay, so if you hypothetically wanted to walk up to the tree of life in this situation, he would either tell you to go away, or if you got too close, kill you, presumably. So that's like saying, let's see. Everything, the tree of life exists for everyone. No one living thing could happen because you were living. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay. So we have like 20 minutes left, so let's at least get.
Yeah, let's get some solid reading done.
Oh, are we getting an Abel? Oh, I this. Okay.
Oh, you remember this?
Chapter 4. That's you.
Me or you?
Jones?
Oh, should I read it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, who conceived and brought forth Cain, saying, I have gotten a man through God. And again she brought forth his brother Abel. And Abel was a shepherd, and Cain a husbandman. I hate to break it to you, Cain. That's not a profession.
It's a profession.
When the only woman alive is your mother, being a husbandman is not a way of life.
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay, and it came to pass after many days that Cain offered of the fruits of the earth gifts to the Lord.
Uh-huh.
And Abel also took the firstlings of his flock and of their fat, and the Lord has respect to Abel and to his offerings. But to but to Mr. Husbandman Cain and his offerings he had no respect. And Cain was exceedingly angry, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said to him, Why art thou angry, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou do well, shalt thou not receive? But if ill, shall not sin forthwith be present at the door? But the lust thereof shall be under thee, and thou shalt have dominion over it. And Cain said to Abel, you want to talk about that?
I think, yeah, I think real quick. I think what he's just, I mean, I already know how this story ends because again, evangelical, but I think what God is saying is, you need to steal your, don't sin, control your impulse. I think that's what I think Cain is not going to listen. Just judging from that paragraph, but
yeah. Okay. I'll go on. 8. And Cain said to Abel his brother, Let us go forth abroad. And when they were in the field, Cain rose up against his brother Abel and slew him. Whoa! That's a twist right there. And the Lord said to Cain, See, I like to think that the Lord is kind of just walking up, strolling, and he's looking for his favorite, Abel, and he's all
because
not a sin. Yeah. And he's looking for Abel and he can't find him, and then he's all to Cain, Where is thy brother? And he's like, I don't know. I'm not his guardian.
Am I my brother's keeper? Oh my god. This is actually... What, Jonas? This is the first recorded instance of passive aggressiveness. Oh my... Am I my brother's keeper?
I would just like to say, Cain is such a Chad right now.
I mean, like Cain is a sinner and he murdered.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take it for a while too.
Okay, yeah, I do go for it.
And he said to him, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried.
Oh my god.
Now therefore, dude, this is messed up. Now therefore, cursed shalt thou be upon the earth, which hath opened her mouth and received the blood of thy brother at thy hand. When thou shalt till it, it shall not yield to thee. It's a fugitive and a vagabond. I don't know. Vagabond. Shalt thou be upon the earth. Okay, so he's basically saying that the soil will not because you fed the blood of your brother after you murdered him.
Okay, I take back what I said about Cain being a Chad, right?
Yeah, Cain just murdered his brother.
Can we play?
Not for no.
Can we play a crab rave and say that Abel is gone?
Is it Abel? I honestly I still anyway.
Like, is it Isabel or is Abel?
I have no idea.
Exactly.
Anywho, where was I?
13.
And Cain said to the Lord, My iniquity is greater than that I may deserve pardon. 14. Behold, thou dost cast day from the face of the earth, and from thy face I shall be hid, and I should be a vagabond and a fugitive in the earth, and every therefore shall kill me. And the Lord said to him, It shall not so be, and whosoever shall kill Cain shall be punished sevenfold.
Oh my god.
So whoever found him should not kill him. Is this like kill him with kindness?
No, so basically it's like, no. You're gonna die of something bad. No one's going to be allowed to kill you. If anyone does kill you, they're gonna get punished sevenfold? How do you punish someone sevenfold for who's
if there's no?
Yeah, well, the punishment is you can never grow fruit. How do you grow 7 times less fruit than 0?
Maybe it's like wherever you go, you can't just like any farm that you choose to take up. Maybe.
It's the difference between a level 1 crook and a level 50 boss,
Um. Okay. Um. Oh man, I feel so bad for reviews. Um.
Yeah, see,
Okay.
it's dropping between the threes and fours though, so we have a consistent
I
two
saw.
people audience.
Yeah, we have a two people audience. I think like 12 different people have watched at this point. So
Yeah, I'll check the
maybe they
analytics
just saw this
afterward.
and recommended and just
Yeah,
kind of like, hey, what's this? And then like, nope, I'm bored, and rightfully so, because this is very. I feel like you wouldn't get much enjoyment if you.
and hey, if anyone has
So anyway,
anything to say, I have to say this periodically because when I say it, it's late. Feel free to leave
yeah.
a question and share this with others if you think they'll find Bible reading interesting, or if you just want to troll them. Well, I'm cool with that too.
You just want to troll them by linking them. Is this going to be the new Rick? Just like put links to places, and then it'll just actually be, it'll just
Yeah,
be
no, no,
us
no, no,
reading
no.
the Bible.
Now,
All right.
here's what we'll do. We'll have a hit service, right?
Yeah.
We can have someone be like, "Yo," we can have someone like give us a name, right? And be like, "Yo,
Mhm.
start saying this name over and over again, right?" So it'll
Uh,
be like, "Hey, can you just say the word like Junglewood over and over again?"
yeah,
And
yeah.
then when they join our stream, they'll just see a picture of a Minecraft tree, and we'll be just saying Junglewood over and over again, right?
I don't want to do that. Okay, so, um, okay, so there's a mark upon Cain, and you're not allowed to kill him.
Right.
So,
Not that you're
uh,
well, yeah, you shouldn't. Not that you're not
yeah.
allowed to.
Well, you're not allowed to, because if you do, you're gonna get punished sevenfold, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And Cain went out from the face of the Lord, and dwelt as a fugitive on the east side of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived, and brought forth Henoch, and he built a city, and called the name thereof by the name of his son Henoch. And Henoch begot Arad, and Arad begot Maviel, and Maviel begot Mathwasiel, and Mathwasiel begot Lamech, who took two wives. And wait, does begot mean birthed? Not birthed, but like fathered, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Or
Okay.
mothers. I mean, I are we really one? It's
I
interesting. Are these all boy names? And if so,
I feel like they are.
did they all get in on Eve?
I no, because I think it's implied human been breeding for a while. Cain's wife. I mean, obviously isn't
I
Eve.
mean,
I mean, I hope it.
well, we have to think about it this way, right? If only Eve was punished with giving children, and Adam
Well,
and
no, I think
Eve
that
are
was
the
just like general.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But in this context, it's just Eve, right? Because Eve's
Well, because she's the only
the only
woman.
one, right? So currently, she is still the only one, which means that if Henoch
Maybe.
begot Irad, then at the very least, it was Henoch and Eve. And if Irad is not a female, at the very least, it's Irad and Eve. And if Mavi, and so on and so forth.
Okay. So I feel like so obviously Bible is not very prone or is very prone to giving. It's done this before. Like it gives us very subtle time skips, where it's like the 7 days they happen. Maybe there was a subtle time skip. Maybe it skipped forward like 50 years or something. People or something. Maybe. I don't know.
That's fair.
You could be right, but I also don't believe that it's just gross. um, and who took two? So this is chapter 19,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
paragraph 19. And so Lamech, Lamech took two wives. The name of the one was Ada, and the name of the other Selah.
I think
And,
Ada.
oh yeah, it's probably Ada. It's probably Ada. And Ada brought forth Jabel, who was father of such as dwell in tents and of herds. And his brother's name was Jabal, and he was the father of them that play upon the harp and the organ. Oh, maybe that's why the harp and the organs are like a religious importance, because like every church has, or like every massive church has an organ.
Yeah.
Anyways. Sela also brought forth Tubal Cain, who was a hammer and artificer
Artificer.
of
Or it's
what?
artificer. Sorry, I say
Is it?
artificer. I think I'm
Because
wrong,
like
actually. Yeah.
I don't know if it's artificer because like ever since the new class got announced, some people pronounce it artificer, artificer, whatever. He was a hammer and artificer in every brass and iron, and the sister of Tubal Cain, Noema. And Lamech said to his wives Ada and Selah, Hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech, and hearken to my speech. For I have slain a man to the wounding of myself, and a stripe to my own brothers. Sevenfold vengeance shall be taken to Cain, but for Lamech, 70 times 7. Wait, what did Lamech do?
Wait, Lamech said to his wives, "Oh,
For I have slain a man to the wounding of myself." What is...
okay, so Lamech killed someone.
Huh, okay. So Lamech is punished 7 times 7.
Okay,
So
70 times sevenfold, so 140-fold?
okay, so Lamech is in deep crap.
Yeah.
So is Cain's alive?
Okay, shall be taken for Cain. Okay. Hearken to my speech. I have
It's
slain a
Hela.
man to the wounding of myself, and a stripling. What does stripling mean?
No idea. So hell isn't a thing yet because it's a specific story. There's this guy. I don't think hell is a thing yet because like there's this guy called Saint Michael and he banished Satan to hell and place for sinners and stuff. So hell is not a thing yet.
Yeah. Yeah, hell, yeah.
So maybe Cain is still...
Oh. A young man, just for some clarification. Okay.
And a stripe.
Yeah.
So he killed
So he killed Cain.
as opposed to
and
just
a
killed
young
someone.
boy.
Yeah.
So that's why he's getting 70 times sevenfold, because he killed 2 people. And one was a kid. Okay.
Oh. Adam also knew she brought forth a son, and his name is Seth, saying, God hath given me another son. Cain slew, but to Seth, who also bore a son, he named Enos, and this man and a... Okay, so is that where we're gonna wrap?
Yeah, I think we shouldn't go through another chapter right now. I think we should discuss our thoughts and just general thoughts in general about stuff.
Okay.
And just
Do you
like
want to
where
go?
we are in the story. Okay. So I just think it's interesting. So far, we don't know the Lord's name. We know that he has one though, right? It says he
Oh yeah, that's
begins to call upon
right.
the name of the Lord.
Do you know the Lord's name?
He has some alternate names. Most begin with J, I think. I'm most familiar with Jehovah.
Yeah.
And that's the one. That's the one I like best because of Final Fantasy VII. But yeah, I know there's plenty of names for
So yeah. So I'm actually curious to see what's gonna happen us because like he's implied that maybe he's the first saint. Anyways, so I think the Bible is going to be littered with just the motif of like people going against God's wishes and then having horrible things done. Because that's a lot of the culture around it. It's just like, if you don't worship God, you'll go to hell. And I feel like that attitude was established right in the beginning here. Okay, Eve was like, God told Adam to eat. I think God told Eve, but she shouldn't, but she did, and now she's gonna be cursed with the cycle. And God told Cain to control himself, but Cain said no and killed Abel, and is being sevenfold.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just thinking of it from like a storytelling perspective, right? I don't know. I don't think we have some good characterization so far, right? So like taking this from a storytelling perspective, like I think we don't really have a lot of characterization for most of these characters. Like as far as Adam goes, like what's Adam steal, right? Like if you were to use a word,
is Adam still around?
Okay, Adam and Eve are still around because at the end they give birth to Seth.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So as far as that whole thing goes, like if I was to use one word to describe Adam, I wouldn't have a word, right? Like there's just not much there. So I'm thinking, right? Like I don't know. Like I think there's not a lot of characterization done here, and I hope that in future chapters of the Bible they really get on that. Because I want to relate to Adam, I want to be like, what's Adam's situation, how can I like yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I don't know that much about Adam the character, and I want to get to know him more.
Okay, well, Jonas, this was thanks to the one person still watching now.
That not gonna lie, that might be my sister. If so, thank you. I love
Yeah,
you.
we're really following in Chris's footsteps. Come next LA, right? So yeah, are you gonna archive the stream or?
I think it will be. I think it will be. Yeah.
Okay, you'll archive the. All right, cool. Well, do you want to wrap?
Yeah, I will now end the stream. Thank you everyone who's watched. Well, I can't thank everyone. They're not there. But if you were watching this archive for some reason, or you're the one person that's currently watching, hey, feel free to spread some of my videos to some friends. And I think tomorrow, I might do this again, right? I don't know if I'll do it again with Connor or if I'll bring someone new to read the Bible with me. Of course, I'll do Connor too, but maybe like Connor and someone else. I don't know. That might be getting a bit crazy with the Bible, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of room for possibilities here. Anyway, uh, thank you for watching. I hope you all have an excellent day. Bye bye now.